Welcome to the weekend live show.
508 is where I'm from.
We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night. Let us know in the comments right now where you reppin'.
Apache Junction, Taunton, Worcester, Long Island, Manchard, South Florida, Webster, Malden, Framingham, Tucson, Billerica, Salem, Gloucester, Moosop, Connecticut, Charleston, South Carolina, Roslindale, Moosop, Connecticut, London, Hanson, Glendale, Arizona, Lynn, Mapleville, Quincy.
Food stamps, leave your clothes, buddy, and
hey, you funny ass guy, man.
Have you ever heard of 𝗃𝗏𝗃? Yeah? Are you a fan?
508 is where I'm from.
Hey, what's up?
508 is where I'm from.
How was that?
You a freaking idiot. Stop telling people that I'm mentally deranged and stupid.
Call me Aidan. I'm not a doctor, but...
Get out of my store, please.
You're a fucking loser.
You are a loser.
You're not a journalist. You're nobody.
You're not turtle hair. Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
NFL on the house, blog out.
Let's get this party started.
And I will not be intimidated, I will not be silenced, and we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Tick, tick, boom. Noise. Go, baby, we bringing out toys. Boys, chop up the singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets.
Karen Reed has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom. Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wild, and you must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this, so it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom. You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time. Tick, tick, boom.
Hello. What's up, Turtle Riders? How's everyone doing tonight? All right, guys, welcome to the show. My name is Aidan Kearney. Some of you can call me Clarence Woods Emerson. Other people, old school Turtle Riders, call me 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗺. I prefer doctor because if Joe Biden's a doctor, then definitely I am too. You can follow me on Twitter at Dr. 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗏boy. That's 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗆𝗏𝗄𝗏. TOR, some people call me daddy. I know that could be a little creepy. You don't have to do that. But you can if you want to. I really don't give a shit what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. sharp, and make sure you smash that subscribe button and give us a big thumbs up and comment afterwards. I'm told it helps with the algorithms. And we'll be doing that. So anyway, in case you guys can't see here, I'm live right now. Like, we're doing our first ever actual live show. Yes. So we are here in Taunton. We're in Taunton, Massachusetts. There are a lot of turtle riders down here. It's great to see. People are having a good time. It's packed in here. We're having a good time. So
you guys
anyway,
all like it too.
Yeah. So welcome. I just want to say welcome to everybody. If it's your first time here, welcome to the show. Better late than never. But Anyway, I just wanted real quick before we get started. I want to have, is Chris around? That's I want to have Chris. So Chris is this is 𝗏𝗁. He is a turtle rider, and he's here. So real quick, Chris is the owner here, and he wants to offer a challenge to all turtle riders out there watching. Real quick, all
right, I want to welcome Aidan to Taunton. Welcome to Taunton, Aidan. Aidan's been here before. You've spoken before at one of my places, and I'm glad to have you back again. We need Aidan. He's fighting the fight for all of us. All right? He's fighting the fight for all of us. So here's my challenge. Is there anyone, you know, this event is
into the audience. Yep, you're talking to the audience.
This event is all about raising money for Aidan's defense fund. You know, he got some good news. Mello might be going to the wayside. So
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if that's good or bad either. Yeah. He's very much a lot of material from him.
Yes, and
you're going to lose some material.
We're going to miss it.
But we need to raise money for Aidan's defense fund. So does anybody here and anyone online, I want to donate $500 to Aidan's defense fund. Who will match me that? Who here will match me? Who's going to match me for $500 in person? Anyone?
Well, how about this? Why don't we put it out to the audience? If anybody, if we can raise, he's going to donate $500 tonight. If we can raise at least $500 in the Dono.
How's that sound? All right.
Sound good? All right.
I thank you for coming to the National, and look forward to a great show, Aidan.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, there you go. If we can raise $500 in the donos, because look at man, I raised a bunch of money for my legal defense fund, and then on December 23rd, I had a really expensive trip to Medfield. So the bill went up a little bit after that, unfortunately, and you know, there's a lot of shit going on. So if we can raise $500 in the donos, he's going to match it. You can donate by clicking on the link in the top of this chat. That brings you to something called Turtle Chat. If you do that, I will get a notification. I should get a notification in my inbox, and I will read your message out loud to the class, or you can donate by doing Cash App to $UncleTurtleboy. So either way. So before we do that, though, we have a 50-50 raffle here. We have raised $1,000.
$1,000.
All right, we raised $1,000 in the 50-50, and so we're about to pick a ticket here for $500. And I believe there's some people at home that might possibly win too, right?
No, that's a raffle.
Okay, so somebody is getting $500. So let's find out who they are. You want me to pick? All right, here we go. All right. So the winner of the 50-50 raffle is number 390066. Oh, sorry. Jeez Louise. Fuck off. We have a McAlbert here. 390066. Anyone want it? 066. Anyone got that? Somebody's got to have it. Come on.
No.
Hey! How about that? Congratulations. Excellent. Oh, no. Come on. No. It's not a 50-50 raffle. Stop it. Come on. Thank you, baby. Come on. You guys are too nice. Stick it in my G-string. All right. That he just donated it back. That's amazing, man. That is fucking amazing. Holy shit. We got a good audience here tonight. So, all right, guys. So look at, we're going to jump right into it in a moment. Again, if anyone else wants to donate, the link to the Turtle Chat is at the top. Let me read a couple that we got already. First one we got here is from Sarah. She sends $100 and says, "Get 'em." And then I see a turtle emoji there. Thank you very much, Sarah. I appreciate that. Next up, we have No. Hold on, I got to zoom in. No sends $10 and says, "Turtle Boy, keep doing what you're doing, my guy. These scumbags will pay. Yes, they will. And I swear to God, it's coming." A lot of people don't think it's coming. I've heard some doubters like, "Are they coming?" Dude, stop it. They're not letting They're not going to let a Boston police officer get murdered and some innocent woman get framed for it. And they're certainly not going to throw an award-winning journalist in jail for simply asking a bunch of cop killers questions and making some jokes on YouTube. It's not a crime. Stop it. All right. So she also says, and is it true that one person was allowed to purchase all 75 tickets tonight? No, that's untrue. If so, I swear to God, it's untrue. It just went fast. Look at these. I didn't know it was going to go that fast. These tickets were on sale for all of like 5 minutes. Like I gave the link out to like a couple people I know so they get tickets, and we sold like 10. And then I did a story. I put it out there. They were gone in 5 seconds. So I really apologize to all the people out there that wanted to come tonight but can't come tonight because it sold out in 5 seconds. But I promise next time, like this is kind of like a test run. Like next one, we'll have a bigger venue, and I we can sell out a lot of shit. So we're gonna start doing that more and more. But again, this is a test run, and I'm very grateful to be here in Taunton. It's nice to see. So, thank you. We got $5 from Lindsay with an A. It's different. It's time to fuck. Tick, tick, boom. Yeah, fucking time. Fucking time starts on Monday, and at 10 o'clock a.m. sharp. Let the fucking begin. Here we go. We also have here NDF sends $25 and says Bradel is worth every penny. Yeah. If you guys didn't see him in court the other day, he was phenomenal. I mean, if you were reading the Jessica Machado tweets, you kind of got the gist of it. But until you saw it in person, until you saw this man grill this liar, this filthy, disgusting liar who got up there and spewed her. I don't care. I used to, you know what? I used to be somewhat afraid of her and somewhat intimidated, but I'm not afraid anymore. That woman's a liar, and she got exposed, and now everybody knows it. And it's all, that's the first of many dominoes to fall. And shout out to all the losers on Discord, all the losers who are hate watching me. You are my slaves. Just understand that. You're going to watch this show. You're going to watch Tuesday's show. You're going to buy a Turtle Club subscription, and you are going to transcribe every fucking word I say. You are. You're never, ever, ever going to stop watching me because you love it. You hate me so much that you fucking love it, and you're never going to get sick of it. Just understand that shit. I love you people. I love the haters more than anyone. We got a few more here. We got L sends $25 says, thank you for our rights, fighting for our rights. Have a blast, everyone. Absolutely, L. We got Danielle says, thank you from my whole heart for everything you've done and continue to do in the fight for justice. Free Karen Reed. Thank you very much. We also have here, Christy sends 25 and says, they going down, we yelling timber. Yes, they are. They're one by one. Kristen sends $25 says, great day. Sox won, Celtics won. What's the score in the Bruins? Bruins? All right, 1-0. Bruins looking good, and Turtle Boy's killing it. Keep up the fantastic work. Proud to be a Turtle Rider. Free Karen Reed. Thank you very much, Kristen. We also have here $5 from PJ. Says thank you, PJ. Kent sends $50 and says, from the assholes in the third row, we love you. It's time to fuck. Yes, it is. Grant sends $25 says, keep doing what you do. Free Karen Reed. Thank you very much, Grant. North Shore Turtle Babe says, hanging on every word and every move since you began. Miss you, girl. Love you, Unc, and so proud to see what you've grown into. Great nips, too. Thank you. Where did that come from? I still don't know where that came from. Cindy sends $25 and says, if I can get you a venue, would you do it in the Hudson? Absolutely, as long as we can fit. We'd like a bigger crowd. That's cool. So thank you very much, Cindy. Again, if you'd like to donate more, you can click on the link for Turtle Chat. Let me read a couple cash apps here. Bang through these before we start the show. First, we got here. We got a few here. We got 7-pounder sends $10 says eat shit, Krusty. All right. Can't go wrong with that. Fuck you, Krusty. How's your audience? How's your job? That's my question. Right, you can't respond because your bitch ass got an order. Silence. All right. Michelle sends $5 and says, shout out to Checks and Free Karen. Thank you, Michelle. Tammy sends 20 and says, thank you all you for you do. Stop corruption. Thank you, Tammy. Bruce sends 5 and says, Hey, Mom, here comes that man again. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Catherine sends $10 and says, tell Egan, hey, girl. All right, Egan. Ryan sends $5 and says, being Eskimo brothers with Grant. I don't know what that means. Is that a sexual thing? Thank you, Ryan. Mike Bradford from the Canton 9 says $100. And he says, Turtle Riders unite. Thank you, Mike. And then we have Lisa, my favorite Dedham librarian, sends $20. Thank you very much, Lisa. And Kendra sends $25. Says, I wish I was there. I had fun. We wish you too, Kendra. Sharon sends $25 and says, truth always. Front row is. We got a live one. Thank you, Sharon. And Aaron sends $10 and says, please check Facebook messages. I will later. Thank you, Aaron. Okay. Again, if anyone wants to donate, I will be doing that periodically throughout the show. You can click on the link to the top for Turtle Chat or Cash App, $Uncle_Turtleboy. So, all right. Here's what we're going to do tonight. I thought about how I'm going to do the show. So, as you guys know, interesting day in court the other day, yesterday, actually, but we don't have the audio for that yet. Luckily, 𝗪𝗛𝗔 Machado did an amazing tweet by tweet. We'll be getting to that later at the far end of the show. We'll also be talking about, I might show you some tidbits here from the data extraction, man. I have been the last 48 hours like rage reading this shit, like holy shit. You should see some of the stuff we got in here. I don't even know where to begin. Some of this stuff is just wild. And like I talked about this on my Turtle Club the other night, but like it gets fucked up. Like you're like, I went to jail for this, like 60 days for these lying, thieving hoes. Like what the? So anyway, we're gonna talk all about that. But what I want to do to start, right? Because Karen Reed goes to trial on Monday, and I will be there. I'm going to be there Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. And I don't got to worry about shit, motherfucker, because that order got amended, and I can go to any courthouse I want, and ain't no hoe showing up and kicking me out. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. Everywhere. Yeah, time to fuck. So I'll be there Monday, pretty early, whenever, and the hearing starts at 10. So what I'm going to be doing is I can't go inside the courtroom because there's no seats. And I'm going to be honest with you. The defense got played. They played themselves. They did the move where they didn't like the whole setup there because the 6 of the jurors can't see the witness's face, which is important in this case because you can look in Jennifer McCabe's eyes and be like, that bitch is lying. That bitch is lying about shit. And if you can't see her eyes, it's hard to tell. So I get it. I get why they wanted them to do that. But I got to tip my hat. Like, it's very rare when the Commonwealth does something like well played. And they were like, okay, touche, motherfucker. How about this? How about we move it to that little courtroom over there so that no turtle riders can come? And then the defense is in a position where they're like, well, if we say no, that we want to keep it here, then we have to be like, well, we don't really care. But and the only thing we care about is turtle riders being here. So they were kind of had them by the balls. I mean, well played. That's the first smart thing the fucking Commonwealth did in this whole thing. And unfortunately means I'll be very lucky if I can actually sit in on a day of this. So I'll be there. I look, I got to get my kids on the bus every day at 8:30. And I obviously can't make it to court if that happens. So my kids have never actually had a babysitter in their whole life. I got a babysitter for the first time. Met her today. She introduced the kids. She's lovely. And so I'm going to be there 3 days a week, just standing outside the courthouse, holding court, doing my morning live show, whatever. And then around 9:30 every day, I'm going to head back to where I go, and I'm going to live stream the proceedings. So you guys can watch the proceedings. Again, this is going to dominate Turtle Boy for like the next 8 freaking weeks. So, stay tuned for that. So anyway, what we're going to do tonight is we are going to kind of go through, since the trial starts Monday, we're going to go through this case, the facts of this case, a timeline. we're going to go through the timeline and just kind of revisit some shit, because we could talk about that abomination that happened the other day in court. That abomination that happened on, was that yesterday? It was yesterday. It feels like so long ago. How cunty was Auntie Bev? Oh my goodness gracious. Peak cunty. And I apologize to Tom DeRosa. He doesn't like when I say that again. But she was, Tom knows that. She was being extra cunty that day. And she was just being rude to them. Like, she's always like that. But it just seemed like, why is it even up for debate that Michael Proctor doesn't have it mentioned that he's under internal affairs? How the fuck is that not relevant? And you know what Auntie Bev said? She's like, well, what if he doesn't testify? Who the fuck asks a question like that? Auntie Bev, have you ever, in your whatever years of experience doing this, ever seen a murder case in which the lead detective doesn't testify? What kind of fucked up question is that? That's her acknowledging how fucked up this all is. The fact that she knows that, like, oh yeah, that motherfucker's shady as fuck. They're not going to bring him up here, are they? No. But the defense is because they got a lot of questions. And I got a lot of questions. And I got charged with a felony for asking that soft motherfucker a bunch of questions. That's all this is. So, but we're going to beat it. We're going to beat it because all these people in here have our back. So, we're going to go over right now a timeline of the events on that day. So let me pull this up. Where'd it go? There. All right, so here we go. So if you're new here, if you're new to the case, we're going to start off right here about everything that happened on this day, okay? Start like 𝗼𝗵𝗃, put a good timeline together, but here's how it started if you're new here. All right, so at 10 o'clock on January 28th, 2022, at 10 o'clock on 10 p.m., we got John O'Keefe meets Karen Reed at CF McCarthy's, all right? And we saw the video of her going in there, and she looked like they looked happy. She hugged them. She didn't look like a crazy bitch that they're trying to kind of portray Karen to be, like she's a crazy bitch, and that she's so mad, and she got in the car. She killed this motherfucker. Can you guys hear me fine all right? Let's see. Hold on. People say the background. All right. Hey, can I have a request, guys? Just tone it down. I love you guys, but can we tone it down a little bit? Because the live audience and the audience watching out there, they can't hear shit, and they're all complaining. It's like over. So that'd be cool. Maybe do like indoor voices. All right, cool. So thank you very much. There we go. So anyway, so 10 o'clock, right? 10 o'clock, Jennifer McKay. I'm done joking. She's on my mind. John O'Keefe gets to CF McCarthy's and walks in there. We got him on video. They look perfectly happy. 11 o'clock, John and Karen go across the street to the waterfall bar. Now, 𝗼𝗵𝗃's got a little timeline here. Let me pull this up. She did an amazing job. Follow her on Twitter if you don't already. I'm going to pull her little Excel doc up here. And I don't know if you guys, it's kind of small, but whatever. You guys can see this. All right. So she got a little background. Obviously, we know that about on New Year's Eve, going into 2022, there was a big incident in Aruba. Not big incident. It was basic stuff. John and Karen had gone to Aruba, and John is an Irishman, like myself, and he likes to have a few brewskis, and he goes out, and Karen got a little upset with him there, right? And apparently there was some chick there named Marietta. I don't know. I mean, that's the youngest Marietta I've ever heard. But apparently she got a little, she hugged John or something, and Karen got a little upset about it. And this is apparently means she's a murderer, as opposed to, bitches be crazy. She got upset about it, and it's like, who is that? You're talking to John? And whatever. So they think that because of Aruba, she's like, you know what I'm going to do a month from now? I'm going to kill that motherfucker. You know where I'm going to kill that motherfucker? In front of a cop's house. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for just the right time. Like just when the moment's right, and I'm, what are you gonna kill him with, Karen? Are you gonna use the candlestick, or what are you gonna do? Are you gonna hit him over there? No. I got even a better idea. I'm gonna back into that motherfucker and make him land on the grass, and that motherfucker's gonna die. And then the coyotes are gonna come out and they're gonna eat his arm, and that's what's gonna happen. So we know that that happened. So we now know that Michael Proctor, a week before, texted the family members of the Alberts and asked if Julie Albert could babysit his kid, which means that there is a pre-existing relationship between the Alberts and Trooper Proctor. Of course, we already knew that by now, but it was nice to get the text to actually kind of see it in action. So they go over to Waterfall Bar, right? They go over to the Waterfall Bar. I'll bring up my timeline. And they get over there, and who's over there? They got Brian Albert's over there with his wife, Nicole. They got the McCabe's are over there. Higgins is there, and Caitlin Albert's there. And they're having a good time. And they go in there, and not a single witness, not one witness in there, not one. And they asked them, like, how was Karen acting? Did she seem mad at John O'Keefe? And every single person said no. She was not. They did not seem like they were in a fight or anything like that. And was she drunk? No. Every single person said that she sounded like she seemed normal. And I'm sorry. Like, they want us to believe that Karen Reed went to C.F. McCarthy's and got white girl wasted like crazy. Like, drank like 7 drinks. They keep pointing out, she had 7 drinks. Have these motherfuckers not heard before about the concept of buying someone else a drink? Like, have they never heard of that before? 7 drinks in an hour? Are you crazy? No. And if she was that drunk, why did John let her drive? I find that hard to believe. So they go back and they get the invite to go back to 34 Fairview Road. Okay. And it's kind of like a verbal invite, and Jen McCabe's the one that does it. And Karen, and as you know, spoiler alert, I've talked to Karen Reed before and I asked her, why didn't you go? Why didn't you go? And she basically said that, like, first of all, she's hungry. She hadn't eaten all day, so she wanted to get food. She's also 40 whatever years old, and who wants to go to an after party when you're that old, like at these people's houses that you don't really know that well? But she decides that she's going to drop them off there. Now, this is the timeline here. So we got Allie McCabe at 12:09. So Brian and Nicole Albert leave first. So they leave at about 12. Allie McCabe picks up Colin Albert. And according to texts that were submitted to police, Colin uses this as an alibi for not being at the house when John arrives. But the text is unclear about, and we've seen this text before. I don't have it on top of me right now, but we've seen this text before. Only if someone as stupid as Gretchen Bosch would fall for this one. But the text message says, I'm here at 12:09. It doesn't say where here is. It just says, I'm here. For all we know, and most likely, she was picking Colin up from somewhere else to bring him to 34 Fairview Road, because the party doesn't start till the older generation of McAlberts gets there. So that's what happens at 12:09. That brings us to our next thing. At let's see. At 12:11, everyone else leaves the bar. They all clear up by at 12:11. And I've done this route before. It takes approximately 7 minutes to drive from, the waterfall to, actually, you can get there like 5 or 6 minutes from the waterfall to 34 Fairview Road. It's a pretty easy drive. With snow, add on a couple minutes. So if they leave at 12:11, then realistically, they would arrive approximately 12:20. So, and again, I'm doing this kind of like rehash here because there's a lot of people who are just going to be tuning into this case. And I am so sick. Of this being some sort of toss-up about, like, maybe she did it. And I talked to one person today who was just like, who hasn't been following this, and is like, I find it hard to believe 50 people did this. I find it hard to believe that Alexis has teeth. That's what I find it hard to believe. Okay, it's fucking stupid. It's not a toss-up. If you're out there saying Karen Reed did this, it's not a difference of opinion. It's a difference of you're fucking stupid and uneducated, and you haven't followed any of this shit. That's it. There's no tolerance. There's no agree to disagree. You're wrong. I'm right. Shut the fuck up. Period. So, at 12:14, John and Karen are in Karen's car, and John texts 𝗵𝗂𝗃, where to? And according to Karen, she told me that it was like weird. It was weird, man. When 𝗵𝗂𝗃 really wanted John to come over. Like, she was like, you coming over? You coming over? And it makes you wonder if this whole thing was a setup. Makes you wonder. We also see here, get rid of that. We also see here that at 12:18, John calls Jennifer McCabe to inquire about the exact address as they are getting close to the house. So that means they're pretty close. And they're like, what's the exact address? And that's important because of what happens between 12:21 and 12:24. At 12:21, we know that John and Karen arrived at 34 Fairview Road and runs inside. This is disputed by the Commonwealth because of the next thing. I don't know why it says Ryan Angel. Ryan Nagel pulls in. He was not the driver. A man by the name of 𝗵𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗃, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Dono, who is a friend of his, and his girlfriend at the time, Heather Maxon, are in the truck with them. And the only person listed in the charging documents is Ryan Nagel. He's the only one. The other two are not. But they were both interviewed, and we've never seen what they have to say. And I'm told through my sources, who are apparently the same sources that Sean in the Gulf has, that 𝗵𝗵𝗃 Denounia, he's going to have something very interesting to say. He might have seen something. He might have seen John do something interesting on that fateful night. We will find out when he takes the stand, because unfortunately, I can't say what I know that he's going to testify, because we are dealing with a bunch of corrupt thugs who will threaten him, who will give him the same treatment that they've given people like Aaron Beatty and Tom Beatty and others who have had the courage to stand up and tell the truth about what actually happened in Canton that night. So they get there and Ryan Nagel pulls up. And if you recall, Ryan, the truck that Ryan was in lets Karen pull in first. And it's snowing out. And they pull right up to 34 Fairview Road. And of course, there's a driveway there. And that's where you'd logically drop someone off. And so, according to Karen, John gets out of the car there and runs into the house, makes a beeline for it. Because it's fucking cold. So he wants to go inside the house. And he's got no jacket. And we see that, the plebeians of the world will say, well, why didn't Ryan Nagel see him go in the house? Because he ran fast, motherfucker, because it was cold. Because he wanted to get inside. It's not that complicated. Okay? So they pull up, and according to Ryan Nagel, he sees Karen. He's there to get his sister, Julie. And Julie, for some reason, comes out a couple minutes later and is like, even though I called you for a ride like 10 minutes ago, don't need a ride. I'm going to sleep over. And then an hour later, she goes home with Jennifer McCabe. So that's odd. And anyway, so Ryan Nagel tells the police, Michael Proctor, that he sees Karen Reed in her car alone with just her headlights on, the interior lights on. And where's John? Is he in the car? Nope. Is he outside of the car? No. Karen Reed is alone in that vehicle, which means John, unless he was taking a Sunday stroll down Fairview Road in the middle of a blizzard, he was inside that house. So, 12:21 to 12:24. John's, and this is what they have no fucking answer for this. They have no answer for this. John's Apple Health data shows him ascending and descending 3 flights of stairs. There are no steps in Karen's car. There's none. And the plebeians of the world will tell you, well, maybe they were going up a hill. Yeah. It's fucking Apple. They figured that one out. They figured out Apple hasn't figured out between a freaking staircase and a slight incline in the road. Like somehow Apple hasn't figured that out yet. So he's going, and Karen also has an iPhone, by the way. They have her phone. Her phone does not show her ascending and descending 3 flights of stairs between 12:21 and 12:24. And by the way, I guess that would also mean that the only incline they had the entire way home was during that 3-minute interval. Somehow that makes sense to these mouth breathers. Okay? And all right, so at 12:26, and we know it's 12:26 because Ryan Nagel says it's 5 minutes later. At 12:26, Juliana Nagel comes outside and tells her brother, we're all set. We're not going to stay. At 12:29, John's phone answers an incoming call from Jennifer McCabe. The call lasts for 8 seconds. Jen tells police that this was a butt dial. These people and their fucking butt dials. Karen's team believes that they were looking for John's phone, which got lost in a struggle. So, again, at 12:29, John's phone answers an incoming phone call from Jennifer McCabe. Now, we know it's our contention that John had been beat up by them. And the fact that Jennifer McCabe is calling his phone and finding it means that cold-blooded cunt, and I'm sorry, Tom DeRosa, that's what Jennifer McCabe is. She's a cunt. That cold-blooded cunt immediately, this is the father of her daughter's friend's friend. Like it's her daughter's friend's friend, right? And she's like, he's bleeding out and shit, puking, and she's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call his phone so we get his phone, and let's just cover this shit up. Let's just cover this shit up real quick. So Jen, of course, has no explanation for why that happened. And she simply says it's a butt dial. All right. At 12:31, Jen McCabe texts John and says, hello, pull up behind me. Now, why would she say that, right? Why would she say pull up behind me unless if Karen's car was not still there? That means she looked outside, saw Karen's vehicle there, and is like, well, let's just pretend like he's not inside. That's the only reason to send a text message like that. Let's pretend they're trying to make it look like John isn't inside that house. So that brings us to 12:32, right? John's phone moves for the last time at 12:31. Now, at 12:32, Karen, according to most estimates, drives away, which is weird because what time does Jennifer McCabe say that she saw John's car drive away? 12:45. That's a lie. She told police that she saw John's car drive away at 12:45. That's impossible. And I tweeted about this like a week ago, right? It's impossible because there is a voicemail that she left on John's phone at 12:41 in which you can hear the garage door close. That means she's home at 12:41. And the plebeians of the world are like, oh, I haven't seen that yet. Yeah, motherfucker, because your eyes are closed. David Yannetti said it in open court, I believe on May 24th. Said it right there. It's undeniable. So, at 12:32, at 12:33, and I'm going to show you something now that you haven't seen before, people out there. At 12:33, Colin Albert calls 17-year-old Erin Beatty, the daughter of Tom Beatty, a friend from school. But the call is unanswered. And if anyone knows anything about teenagers, they know they don't call people. Teenagers don't call people. They text, they instant chat, whatever. They send dick pics, they do whatever. They don't call each other. And Tom Beatty thinks that's a little bit weird. She didn't answer. Erin Beatty in the morning calls him back and says, and Colin just tells her, never mind.
Fuck Colin Albert!
All right, there we go. Fuck Colin Albert. Okay, you heard it there first. So let me show you guys, for the viewing audience out there, I'm going to show you something. Because the haters out there, the haters say that, well, the McAlberts say that never happened. Colin Albert never called Erin Beatty. Where is the evidence that Colin Albert called Erin Beatty? Okay, we got that. We got receipts. So here we go. This is a screenshot of Colin Albert, and I never showed this before, okay? On January 29th, 2022, calling Erin Beatty. It is a missed phone call, and I've never shown this before. And all the liars out there and all the McAlberts, they've all said, no. That never happened. Colin didn't call Erin Beatty. That never happened. Motherfucker, it's right there. That's a screenshot of Colin Albert calling Erin Beatty. That's her and him in that picture at 12:33. And as a result of them being on, like, why the fuck would Colin Albert call this girl at 12:33? I thought he was at home in bed. This is not his girlfriend. I thought Allie picked him up at 12:09 and drove him home. So you want us to believe that 17-year-old Colin Albert, he's partying at the 34 Fairview Road. And then he's like, oh, yeah, who's coming over? Your fun uncle. Brian Albert and all the fun adults are coming over. And Colin Albert said, you know what? I got to get the fuck out of here. Once the fun starts, I'm gone. That's what they want us to believe. And then he went home. And then at 12:33, he's going to call a girl from school who he's not dating, has no relationship like that with. He's just going to call her for some reason. That's what they want us to believe happened. And they'll say, no, this didn't happen. And Chris Albert, if you'll recall, went to Tom Beatty in I want to say August or September, and tried to get him to change his testimony. Tried to get him to say, no, tell the feds that never happened, that my son never called your daughter. Because Chris knows how bad this is. Chris, you didn't think I had this shit, motherfucker, did you? I got it. It's right there. It's right there. That's your son calling Erin Beatty at 12:33 a.m. I thought it didn't happen. It's really unfortunate. That is unfortunate, Chris. That you didn't think I had this, did you? You didn't think I had this, but I got it. And I decided to save it for a special occasion like this one. So there it is. So he calls her at 12:33 a.m. She doesn't answer. That's shady. All right. So that brings us to our next piece of evidence here. Let's bring it up. Back to the timeline. So at between 12:37 and 12:39, 2 minutes of footage at the Canton Library just disappeared. This would have been the exact time when Karen Reed would have gone past the center of town, the library. Now, the mouth breathers out there will tell you that, this is their new lie. Their new lie is that actually they went by some farm called 𝗵𝗵𝗃 Farm or some shit. So we're going to look at a map right now. I'm going to pull up Canton, Mass. Let's pull up a map. All right, here we go. Pull this bad boy. Okay. Nope. How do I make this big? Okay. That's what she said. How do I make this big? There we go. All right. So anyway, let's find 34. Oh, it's over here. Okay. All right. So 34 Fairview Road's right here. All right. I don't know if I'm sharing that on the screen. Oh, I got to share it on the screen. Hold on. All right. So we got 34 Fairview Road, right in this direction. And we know that Karen Reed's car was facing south. It was going in this direction. So if you're going south on Fairview Road and you want to get back over here, this is where One Meadows is. Where's One Meadows? There it is. There's One Meadows. She wants to get there, okay? So you don't have to be a Canton expert to know that the fastest way to get from here to here is by going down this street called Fairview Road, taking a right onto Chapman, going down this street with the MBTA stop, and going through the center of town right here. And here is where the Canton Library is. I've done this a million times. She would have gone right through here. And this footage from the library would have gotten all of it. But yet it disappeared. But not the whole thing. not the whole thing. And by the way, the mouth breathers want us to believe, that Karen, the reason that the footage isn't there, is because she went another way. She went this way. They want us to believe that Karen came down here and took a left onto Chapman Street. She took a left instead of a right and took a left onto Chapman Street and then went down here and went down Pleasant Street because she was just trying to see the scenic route. She avoided the center of Canton by going down here and then this way, as opposed to this way, which is much faster because that's what people do in snowstorms, apparently. So let's go on to the next thing. So it's just gone. And it's funny because Richie was with me when we interviewed the IT director in Canton. And Richie, do you remember what the IT director said when he handed over the foot? When he handed over the, do you remember what he said, 𝗺𝗺cie?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said he didn't watch it.
Yeah, he said he didn't watch it. That he just handed over the whole footage to Michael Proctor or the state police. Just handed it over to. Here's a file. Take the whole thing. And in less than 2 minutes, I met that guy. He's a Poindexter. I don't think he's in on it. So he hands it over to the state police, and then for some reason, they burn it to a CD. They burn it to a goddamn CD-ROM like it's 1994, and they give it to the defense and the Commonwealth, and 2 minutes are missing. Just missing. The most important 2 minutes when Karen Reed would have driven directly by. Now, if that footage showed Karen Reed's taillight broken, they'd have a pretty strong, argument that like she just hit something. It wouldn't be a smoking gun, but it would be like, good evidence, something. But they just don't have it. It's so again. On the other hand, if the taillight shows that the footage shows that the taillight is intact, then she didn't do it. She's innocent. And conveniently, it disappears. A lot of shit disappears in this whole case. So that brings us to, right, 12:41, right? Karen leaves John a voicemail that you can hear in the garage. At 12:41 and 12:50, Jennifer McCabe calls John's phone 6 freaking times. If you invited a friend to a part, or, to a house or something, he doesn't show up. How many times you call him? Twice? That's generous. I call once. Call once or twice, whatever. 6 times? Why is she calling this guy 6 times? Because she's trying to make it seem like, I'm really wondering, is he here? She overdid it. That, like, nobody calls 6 times. At 1:45, Caitlin Albert tells police, and again, the Caitlin Albert thing, that was another thing I've had for a while. Like, when police interviewed Brian and Nicole Albert, they told the police that Caitlin Albert left at 12:15. And again, that would be a good time to leave, a convenient time, because O'Keefe didn't get there till at least 5 minutes later, and so I didn't know nothing, didn't see nothing. It's really easy to say that. People ask, how did this conspiracy get so big? It didn't. There's 4 people, or 5 really, the 2 McCabe's, the 2 Alberts, and Brian Higgins. And then you have Michael Proctor, and it's done. That's all you need. That's it. The rest is just people covering for each other and protecting and trusting institutions. That's all this is. It was not 50 people. It's like 5. So they tell police that she left before John O'Keefe got there. Well, it turns out that the FBI interviewed Caitlin Albert. And when the FBI interviewed Caitlin Albert, she had a very different story. And she tells police that actually, I left there at 1:45. Now, why would she say that? Only one reason. And this is why I'm so confident in this case. A lot of people are worried about this. I'm not. The only reason for Caitlin Albert to put herself inside a place where a police officer was killed at 1:45 is because she got confronted with geofence data that shows that she was there. And if they got the geofence on her, they got the geofence on everyone. They know everyone who was inside that house, all of them. And a lot of people are asking, well, why are the feds letting this go forward? Why are they letting this go to trial? Well, we'll see if the whole trial goes through. Because a lot of people believe, and I think this is a fair theory, that they're letting them see how far are they willing to go with this. Who else wants to get indicted? How are you guys willing to lie in open court about this? And we will see. We will see. Because I'm telling you one thing: the Commonwealth and the state police have no idea how serious this is. They think this is just something that they're gonna get away with. They're more interested in who paid for my car. That's what they seem to be like. We'll get it. I know how we'll end this. We'll find Turtle Boy's mistress, and we'll see if she says something about it. How he really paid for the car. That'll fool them. No, they don't know what they're in for. It's telling you right now, this is gonna have a happy ending. Don't worry about it. All right. So at 1:47, Jen and Matt McCabe and Julie Nagel and Sarah Levinson leave the house, and they went south. So again, for all the people out there that and they have no answer for this, please, for the love of God, explain to me why 4 people, Matt McCabe driving, Jen McCabe in the passenger seat, Sarah Levinson and Julie McCabe in the back seat, they go directly by the exact spot where John's body supposedly was, 12 feet from the curb, illuminated by snow, like less than an inch of snow at that point, and not one of them notices a fucking human body right there. Not one of them. Stop it. They all saw it. Every single one of them saw it. But Julie Nagel wasn't interviewed until 9 months later. She wasn't interviewed until 9 months later for some reason. And why was she interviewed 9 months later? Because a week before they interviewed Julie Nagel, they brought this up in court. Alan Jackson, thank you. Alan Jackson brought this up in court that now nobody saw the body. Suddenly they decide it's time to interview Julie Nagel, who suddenly is relevant in this. You know, let's talk to her. And what does she tell police? Well, she can't tell them that she saw a body there, because then they'd say, why didn't you call 911? And if she tells them I didn't see a body there, well, that's not good. That's not good, because no body, no Kearney guilty. So she says she saw a shadowy figure. And that's why Julie Nagel can kiss my ass, because she's just as bad as the rest of these motherfuckers. She lied. And they want to put me in jail for telling Julie Albert to tell the truth. She should tell the truth. That's not a fucking crime to tell some lying chick that you should tell the truth about a fucking murder. Since when did that become a crime? Yeah, you should tell the truth. Yeah, motherfucker, everyone should tell the truth. Why are people lying? So, anyway, none of them see the goddamn body. None of them see it. At 2:22, the FBI investigation has revealed that Brian Higgins and Brian Albert spoke on the phone for 22 seconds. But what did they tell the police? That they were sleeping. Well, that kind of contradicts each other. Like, what's up with that? How were you sleeping and you called each other? And so Brian Albert called Brian Higgins first, didn't answer. And then Brian Higgins called him back, and I think he answered for like 22 seconds or something. Well, butt dialing, but like not just butt dialing, like fuck dialing. Like, it's like fuck dialing, like pound town dialing. And he was just so into it. He was just giving it to her. And we've seen you saw what it did to the Raggedy Ann doll. Fuck the shit out of that thing. And it still didn't butt dial. It's still, I don't know. He just must have been giving it to her hard. I don't know. It must have been some friction. But somehow she butt her ass, Nicole Albert's ass, entered his goddamn, PIN code into there. And answered, hit answer. She hit the fucking answer button. That's what they want. Stop it. If you believe that, like, they're lying. Why is, come on, a child knows that that's not true. It's so stupid that it's laughable. And they're gonna bring this up in court. When they get Brian Albert on the stand, he's gonna have to repeat this butt dial story. He's gonna have to repeat it. And Alan Jackson, the same questions I did. Like, so what position were you fucking her in that you got her to answer the phone? Explain that one to me, sir. And how small is your dick that Brian Higgins didn't even hear anything? What the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Oh my goodness gracious. So anyway, so that's not going to look good. I don't think that's going to play well with the jury. I'm just saying. So that brings us to 2:27. And everyone in America knows what happened at 2:27 a.m., right? Everyone in the world knows. She Googled how long to die in cold. She did it. Jennifer McCabe Googled that, and there is no debate about it. I don't give a fuck what any of these motherfuckers say. I've never heard any cop before contest a Google search. I was in the Slammer with Brian Walsh. No one's saying his Google searches didn't happen. He wishes. No, his happened. That was legit. I wrote that guy a note under his door like 5 days before I left because I would do recess there and I would see Brian Walsh, who's creepy seeing that guy for the first time. Like, that motherfucker. I saw him every day. Like, that motherfucker chopped a woman up. And then he Googled how to chop up a 115-pound body, the exact same amount that his wife weighed, how to chop up a 115-pound body if you need to, which is my favorite part about that. Like, oh, well, no, I'll throw him. Well, I'm not saying I'm going to, but if you need to, what do you need to do? So I put a note under his door. I said, I introduced myself. I'm a journalist. I've been covering the Kearney case. Not sure if you're familiar with it, but the whole thing hinges on this Google search, and it happens to be the same detective who's, put you in here. Are you familiar with this? Do you want to talk? And I put the note on the door, and I came back the next day. He didn't. I was hoping to he would send me a note back, and I turned on the TV. He's been sentenced to 3 years for his art fraud. I forgot about that. And then the next day, I knocked on his door, and it was really creepy. He was happy. He was nice to me, but it's just, I wish he was an asshole because you want to hate him. He chopped his wife up, and I knocked on his door, and I said, "Hey, did you get my note?" And he says, "Oh yeah, Aidan, it's really nice to meet you. I gave it to my lawyer, and we'll see. I'd like to talk. We'll see what he says." Never heard from him, so I don't know. But I would suggest his lawyer kind of pursue that, because suddenly Norfolk County Google searches don't matter. They're not legitimate. But we all know that she did it because why the fuck, and nobody has an answer for this. Why the fuck was she awake at 4:53 when Karen called? That's the weirdest part to me. Why was she awake? No normal person after a night of drinking, even if she didn't Google this, which she did, no normal person after a night of drinking goes home and is like, you know what I'm going to do? Pace around my house for 2.5 hours. Just pace around. No. You know who paces around for 2.5 hours like that? Somebody who just witnessed a murder. Somebody who Googled, maybe not accidentally, stupidly, at 2:27, how long to die in cold. She did it. It's undeniable. They know it's a smoking gun. That's why they know they can't explain it away. That's why they have to be like, well, the WAL and the cash and the E equals MC squared and blah 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 and blah blah and we have Ian Whiffen here from Celebrate. And yes, if you actually read his goddamn report, it actually says that he doesn't know. He actually agrees with the defense. And then we have this other chick named Jessica Hyde, and she says it didn't happen. Except when you read her report, you found out it does happen. That's what happened. She never once. None of their experts say this didn't happen. They all just say it happened at 6:24. Which nobody disagrees with. We all know it happened at 6:24, but it also happened at 2:27. And she deleted the one at 2:27. It's undeniable. And even to a jury, if you get up there and Lally does his thing, they're going to be confused. And they're going to be like, I don't know who to believe. And that in and of itself is reasonable doubt. Not only but reasonable doubt's not enough. I don't want not guilty. I don't want an acquittal. That's not good enough, because then we're right back where we started. We need arrests. We need indictments. We need justice for John O'Keefe. We need the people who murdered John O'Keefe to be brought away in handcuffs and thrown in jail like the animals that they are. These motherfuckers. I had a lot of time to stew about this in jail. And I just kept thinking about that. I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers, they're so happy right now. And it's sick. I've read their messages. Did you know that the fake victim called, she called on my birthday on December 26th? Guess. Jill fucking Daniels, she called. And I read all their messages. And it sucked reading that shit, how happy those two cunts were. Sorry, Tom, they're cunts. They were fucking happy about it. They were happy about it. And I'm in jail, fucking taken on my goddamn birthday, taken away from my family. And it's just like, you know what, though? I made myself feel better by reminding myself this is temporary. I'll be out of here. I'm not going to spend a decade in here. 𝗵𝗵𝗂𝗃 is. 𝗵𝗵𝗂𝗃 fucking is. She can fucking rot. She can rot for all I care. But we'll go over some of those. So at 2:30 rather, Brian Lucky Loughran plows Fairview Road for the first time. How do we know that this happened? Yours truly. That's how we know. Brian Loughran, that would have been, and if you read the messages between me and Natalie the German that she has shared with the world, she shares these out of context screenshots where Karen seems to be like, I'm like doubtful about something. She's taking messages from Karen and sending them to me. And the messages say something to the effect of, think about it. And she goes, Karen, through Natalie, tells me, think about it. Who would have seen a body there on a snowy night? Who would have seen a body there on a snowy night when, who would have been there? And I'm like, I told Natalie that enough with the fucking riddles. And I say that in the message. I'm like, you cunts with your riddles. Just fucking tell me if you have something to tell me. Well, she was trying to hint to me that the plow driver, motherfucker, look for the plow driver. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I started asking questions. And I find out that there's a driver named Lucky Loughran that does that route. And I message him and he blocks me. And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy's problem? So then I let it go for a few months. And in August, I decide, let's try this guy again. I got his phone number and I just called him. On a hunch during my goddamn vacation, I called him. And he goes, hello? Yeah, is this Lucky? Yeah, who's this? Oh, it's 𝗃𝗏boy. And he didn't hang up. And I said, hey, you got a minute? Sure. Asked him some questions. He said he liked the show. He watched it. And he was really nervous about talking to me because he's like, I'm going to lose. Lucky loves his job. He loves being a maintenance worker in Kearney. He's been doing it for a long time. Doesn't want to lose his job. And so he decides, I start talking to him and I'm like, I didn't tell him this was off the record. He starts talking to me and he tells me that he drove by at 2:30, didn't see a body there. And I said, but would you have seen a body there? Because I know they'll be like, well, maybe you didn't see it. Maybe it was blocked. He goes, no, I definitely would have. I have bright lights and stuff. And he goes, and then it shocked me when he said, that's the same story I told the FBI. And I go, whoa, FBI, motherfucker. When did you talk to them? He said, in May. The FBI came and found me in May. And they were going to subpoena me, but I basically had given them everything they need. And so he was never brought in to testify in front of the grand jury. So he also tells me at this point that at 3:00 he comes back and there's a Ford Edge out there. And that's a really specific model of a car, a Ford Edge, not an Escape, not an Expedition, not a goddamn Santa Fe, a freaking Ford Edge, right? He recognized it. Of course, Lucky's colorblind. He doesn't know the exact color. He said it was like tannish. Well, as it would happen, he did tell me it was not Brian Albert's Ford Edge, but Colin Albert and Kevin Albert own Ford Edges. I might have screwed that up. I think it's an Escape, but it's the same shit. Whatever, Ford. Either way, you would think that police who are looking for a cop killer would kind of track down or have an interest in finding the last seen vehicle that was parked next to a body that was allegedly hit by a goddamn car. Like, You would think that. To this day, I reported this on, I think, August 7th. 2 days later, on August 9th, they decide to interview Lucky Loughran for the first time. Bukkake and Proctor decide to interview this guy for the first time. And we've all seen the interview. During the interview, they don't seem at all interested in, the fact that there's no body there and the Ford Edge. They seemed interested in yours truly. They were just like, so, okay, dead body wasn't there. Ford Edge was there. All right, whatever. Just tell us about Turtle Boy. Tell us about this conversation. How long did it last? Was he taping you? And that was when I realized that they were going to try to jam me up on something. I'm like, these motherfuckers are trying to get me on wiretap, and they're trying to prove something. And since that day, on August 9th, they have done nothing to find who was driving that Ford Edge, but they did arrest me on October 11th for witness intimidation. And the whole ride down, the whole ride from Holden to Stoughton, all I had to think about was like, what am I going to say when I got out of this car? I got 15 seconds of a perp walk here. I know the cameras are going to be there. I need something good to say. So I'm like, we're going to talk about the Ford Edge, because I'm just like, how long did this take to arrest me? How much resources was put into this? And compare that to the resources put into finding out who was driving that Ford Edge, and we still don't know, and they don't give a shit, which really tells you everything you need to know about this. It really tells you everything that you need to know about this. So that's lucky. And to me, that's the biggest piece of evidence proving Karen's innocent. All right. At 3:30, I apologize. Jennifer McCabe stays up till 4:53, and Karen, and a lot of the people are saying, well, why was Karen calls Jennifer McCabe at 4:53. And the mouth breathers will say, well, why was she awake at 4:53? Motherfucker, why was Jen McCabe awake at 4:53? Karen, they go, I thought she was sleeping in her bed. No, Karen was not sleeping in the bed. Karen was on the couch that day. She was waiting on the couch for John to come home, because it's not her house, because it's John's house, and John's kids are there. One of them was there that night, and she was waiting for his Irish ass to get home. And when she woke up at 4:53, she's like, he's not home. So what did she do? She calls the person who invited him to the house. And Jennifer McCabe wakes up. Jennifer McCabe is awake. And she answers the phone at 4:53. And Karen then calls Kerry Roberts, who tells police that Karen said she was drunk and didn't remember the night before and was worried John had been hit by a plow. And a lot of people have said, why is Karen saying that? Why is Karen saying that he got hit by a plow? Well, that's shady, because she's contemplating, like, where could he be? Where could he be? The last thing that she was thinking was that, John just got beaten to death inside that house and thrown out on the lawn like trash to die. She wasn't thinking that, but Jennifer McCabe was. At 5:07, she leaves One Meadows and is seen backing into John's car. You've seen this video before. That's how the taillight cracked. When she pulls out, you can talk to Sean in the Gulf, the taillight expert. He'll tell you all about it. When she pulls out of that driveway, the taillight is slightly cracked, not shattered, slightly cracked, because she just hit the car. There's not 30, and again, I don't know anything about this, but suppose the state police have entered into evidence a jigsaw puzzle of sorts of taillight. Suppose they have entered into evidence 35 pieces of taillight and put it together like a puzzle, right? 35 pieces. Suppose they did that. I don't know anything about this, but suppose they did that. Then you could take that taillight, right, and all of it, and you could look at the vehicle when it pulls out of that driveway. And you could notice if one piece of taillight, one that has been entered into evidence, is still on that car when it pulls out, then you know it was framed. And I've heard that such evidence exists. I don't know anything about it. I certainly haven't seen it myself with my own 2 eyes. It's certainly not in my phone that the state police confiscated on October 11th. But if it was, that would be really fucking bad, wouldn't it? But I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. Just like I didn't know anything about the 911 call, and I certainly don't know anything about any dash cam videos. Not at all. So that brings us to 5:15. Karen gets to Jen McCabe's house where they meet up with Kerry Robbins, right? And real quick, why don't I do a couple, before we get to that, since we're at like 10:15 now, why don't I read a couple turtle chats, shall we? And then we'll get right back to that, because people donated and got a bunch to get. Holy shit, motherfuckers. Damn. All right, let me bang through these. We got Llama sends $50 and says, Doctor, please take this money and place a down payment on journalism school so you can be as relevant as Grant and his mommy. I don't want to be as relevant as Grant. He's not relevant at all. He's just a liar. I mean, how does that guy get away with this? I mean, I don't know if his excuse is going to be this is parody, but that guy is just a piece of shit. He smells like shit. He looks like shit. And just it's funny sometimes until he's just like comes up to you and he's like, what's up with the rape? I'm like, whoa, take it easy, Grant. I like it more when you're a comical asshole. Not yelling shit like that. Take it easy, pal. Shut up. Anyway, so thank you for that, Llama. Pat sends $20 and says, thank you for all you do. It's on Monday. Let's go. Yes, it is, Pat. We got $100. Thank you from Debbie. He says, keep it going, Turtle Boy, and know you always have a space to park. Yes, my girls over at Dedham Insurance. They're great people over there. Thank you very much. Get your insurance done there. Thank you. We also have here, Kay sends $10 and says, fuck 𝗃𝗿𝗄𝗃. Oh, you can't say that. Is she still in town? I got to find 𝗃𝗿𝗄𝗃. I got to find her. Thank you. Next up, we have D&E sends $5 and says, Sean Kelly will be your cellmate. Who the fuck is that? That fuck doesn't know who he's messing with. Okay. Next up, we have Maureen sends $10 and says, Mama to North Shore Turtle Girl. No way. Good luck to Uncle Turtle Boy. I'm still praying for you. Thank you very much, Maureen. Sharon sends $10 and says, I feel like I'm becoming a Northeasterner. Love from Central Texas. The story has united people around the world. It really has. Tracy sends $25 and says, a Dono to help put some of the spicy Bradle Bill. Yeah, it is. He was extra spicy the other day. Keep fighting the good fight, Turtle Boy. Thank you. Shelly sends $10 and says, free camera raid. It's time to fuck. Truth be told. Thank you very much. Mike and Jill sends $25 and says, keep fighting the good fight. Thank you very much, Mike and Jill. Kelly sends $50 and says, I can't wait for you and Karen to be completely free of indictments. Enjoy your special night. You deserve it. I can't wait either. I can't wait for me and Karen to be all done with this shit. And we can have, like, picture the first time I interview Karen Reed. We could sell it to TV Garden, couldn't we? That would be fun. Everyone in the world would want to see that. That would be awesome. So thank you, and I appreciate that, Dono. We have here, Patrice sends $50 and says, Aidan, keep doing what you're doing oh so well. Sue the shit out of the corrupt losers who set you up, and free Karen Reed. Thank you very much, Patrice. I will. Kay sends $10 and says, fuck 𝗃𝗿𝗄𝗃. Thank you. I agree. M sends $25, says, Aidan, hold your head up. Hold up your beer and make a toast. All right. Say cheers to Sparkle Farts. Grant Smith Ellis. What a douche. Sparkle Farts. I love that one. Kay sends another $10 and says, fuck 𝗃𝗿𝗄𝗃. Thank you. Jen sends $50 and says, get your limited edition Turtle Boy pin over at the raffle table. All right. Head over there for that. Rebecca sends $5 and says, celebrating with you all the way from Wisconsin. Truth always wins. Thank you. Jen sends $50 and says, get your, oh, we already got that one. Next up, we have Damien sends $25. No comment. Thank you, Damien. Lori and John send $10 and say, keep rocking it, dude. Thanks for your sacrifices. We will persevere. I can't believe we're going to trial on Monday. Me neither. Thank you very much, Lori. Chris sends $100. Thank you, Chris, and says, please eviscerate Windbag, Murphy, and Jennifer Copendupas. I absolutely will. True Crime sends $10 and says, I'm ready to fuck. You better be True Crime. Thank you. Anonymous sends $10 and says, I don't understand why the in-person crowd is not listening. Oh, you guys got called out. Again, Anonymous sends $10 and says, I don't understand why the in-person crowd is not listening. Thank you. Thank you. So many loud conversations. Have they been to a live show before? This is not a concert. Have some respect. Thank you. Thank you. Again, if you want to talk, if you guys want to have conversations, that's great. I'd appreciate you go in the back. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Kathleen sends $25, says journalism is not a crime. No, it's not. Thank you. And I think that, do we have any more turtle chats here? Thank you. I think we got a couple. Oh, we got some more. Josh sends $10 and says, Twisted Trash is an ugly cunt and will never be beautiful. Josh cheats on her. Okay, thank you. I would too. Linda and Kevin. Linda and Kevin sends $20 and says, we got it right? Karen is factually innocent. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Linda and Kevin. Britt sends $10 and says, free Karen Reed and happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, Britt. Thank you. Angela sends $50 and says, you seem so happy tonight. I love it. Keep up the good fight. Thank you very much for that. Couple cash apps here to read. Let me bang through some of these fast. If you 7-pounder, send $2. 7-pounder. If you send $2, I'm not reading your message. That's bullshit. You're not sending me $2 for a fucking message. So thank you for that. Let's see. We have here Jim Ferris Bueller says, I want to tape condoms to your nips and milk them. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what else we got here. We got $10 from Barb and says, for defense, keep going. Thank you. Fat McAlbert sends 10 and says, oops, I didn't mean to send this, but donate. Hashtag but donate. Russell Jones, the winner of the lottery, sends $100 and says, I'll say it again, you're an American success. Well, thank you very much, Russell. Thanks to people like you. Thank you. Deanna sends $5 and says, raffles for the defense. Thank you, Deanna. And we're going to get to that one sec. 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝘂 sends 25. No comment. Thank you. Maria sends 20 and says, for TPA supporting the movement, hashtag free Karen Reed, free Turtle Boy. So if anyone else wants to donate, link is at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash out $UncleTurtleBoy. Do we have a raffle to do? All right. So what am I doing here?
We're just going to shake them up and pull them. She's going to pull them.
All right. Real quick. Listen up, guys. We're going to do the raffle winner right now, and then we're going to get back to the content. Go ahead. Thank you for everyone who donated. I can't thank you guys enough for this shit. It's been great. First one up. All right, first one. What am I reading it? All right, so this is for herbal healing.
Pull that out.
All right, this is a gift certificate to herbal healing. Is that right?
Oh, it's...
All right. We got ticket number 376-560. 376-560. Nobody? 376-560. All right, we got a winner over there. He wins that one. Do we have another one?
All right, this is for the 𝗧𝗍𝗂 purse.
Well, what is it?
𝗧𝗍𝗂 purse.
𝗧𝗍𝗂 purse?
𝗧𝗍𝗂 purse.
𝗧𝗍𝗂 Day burst.
No, 𝗧𝗍𝗂 purse.
𝗧𝗍𝗂 purse.
No, 𝗧𝗍𝗂 purse.
I don't know what the fuck that means. 𝗧𝗍𝗂 purse.
Kate Spade.
Okay, who's Kate Spade? What's Kate Spade? I'm a heterosexual man. I don't know what Kate. Oh, she's dead? R.I.P. Okay. All right. 376-234.
Unless it's a name, is there a number?
Nope. 376-234. Who is Kate Spade? She's a design. She's a designer. I don't know. Unless she makes 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗺 t-shirts, I don't know her. All right. Do we have any more? Oh, it's an online winner. Okay, 376. Okay. Any more? Bruins are up 3-1, by the way. All right, this is for 𝗕𝗿𝗂𝗏's Italian Kitchen. Number 376-775. 376. Nope. 376-775. 376. I know they got so mad at me because I don't know who the fuck's 𝗕𝗿𝗏𝗏 is. Is she hot? I don't know. Like, who is she? But she's dead. Not so hot now. Not so hot now. Okay. Too soon. Too soon. All right. Okay. Oh, we got a winner? All right. We got 𝗺ście𝗶𝗄𝗧𝘂𝗏. 𝗺ście𝗶𝗄𝗧𝘂𝗏, Tate's Great Keep. Teresa Holmes, you won the 𝗕𝗿𝗂𝗏 one. 𝗕𝗿𝗂𝗏. All right. One more we got here. All right. Tate's Great. 𝗺ście𝗶𝗄𝗧𝘂𝗏. It's like a gift card, including Tate's Great Cakes and Risso's and a $50 gift card. We have number 376-454. 376-454. Anyone out there? 376? No. 454. 376-454. Okay. First of all, Janine, calm down. Do the drawings after the live show. I will do the drawings whenever the fuck I want to do the drawings, Janine. Go fuck yourself. Okay. Sorry if you're in the house. I hate when people tell me what to do. I will conduct my show however the fuck I feel like it, and you will sit there and watch it. Calm down. Thank you. All right. Do we have any more? We good? We're good? All right, because Janine's all mad. I want to calm down Janine. All right. So, anyway, we got the point here, right? We got the point. We could go over this whole timeline, but, you guys kind of know it. So what I want to do now, right, is talk about real quick. Let's talk about some new shit. So, as you guys know, hey, again, if you guys want to talk, I love you guys, but get the fuck to the back if you want to talk, because literally no one at home we got thousands of people watching. No one can hear about it because people want to talk. All right, we're good here. So again, you guys are welcome to talk. Just go to the back. All right, one more for retail therapy, and we have two more. All right, hold on. First one we got here. Hold on. I want to make Janine mad. We got 376-676. 376-676. We got a winner? Anyone? Are you saying anything?
376.
I can't hear myself. That's what it is. Yep. 376. What did I say? 676. 376-676. Any winner? Is she the winner? Did she win? Okay. All right. Accuse me of rigging this.
Cozy at home. Cozy at home.
Okay, cozy at home. Last one. We got here 376-448. 376-448.
All right, nobody's paying attention.
376-448. If you got it, come get it. If you're talking, you deserve to lose if you didn't hear that. Okay. Hey, congratulations. All right. All right, so.
Aidan, we got one more.
One more. Last one. This is the last one, right? All right. All right, last one is what's this? The juicer with fixings. Okay, the juicer with fixings. 376-593. 376-593. I didn't pick that. They're gonna say this is rigged. They're gonna say it's rigged. I swear to God, that was an accident. All right. So here's the deal. There was a bit of a. So as you guys know, in my case, Brian Tully accidentally did the only decent thing he's done in his whole life. He handed over exculpatory evidence to us. He gave us the evidence that we were required to get, which was the fake victim's cell phone. And he did a couple things wrong. First of all, he forgot to redact. Hey, little bit loud. I don't want to be the teacher, but I literally can't fucking hear myself talk and I'm losing my voice. So I'd ask you guys nicely, and I love you guys. If you want to talk about whatever, feel free to go to the fucking back of the room. Because I literally can't fucking hear myself talk and I'm losing my goddamn voice. That would be great. Thank you. So, as you guys know, they did an extraction of the cell phone that was handed to us. Except Brian Tully forgot to do what he's supposed to do, and he's supposed to like redact information. We got way too much information and I want to make this very clear. I have no fucking interest, no interest whatsoever in medical records, in pictures of what a kid, like I don't have no interest in that. I don't have any interest. I certainly don't have any interest in emails to the fucking kindergarten teacher, which I fucking have. I have no interest in that. Okay. What we have interest in is evidence, text messages, and other messages showing that I was set up for a crime that I didn't commit. And boy, do we have a lot of that. And we have spent the last 48 hours going through this shit. And we have found so much goddamn evidence. And we have some of it here now, which I'm going to show you guys. And again, so what they did, they didn't want to show us this. So like when Mello found out that Brian Tully went ahead and gave us all this evidence, he freaked out. He didn't freak out. She freaked out because I talked about it on the stream yesterday morning while I was watching the Kearney here. And I said, I was reading messages out loud, like, holy shit. So the fake victim's watching this and she calls 1-800-MELLOW and he gets him on the phone. And normally witnesses don't speak directly with the special prosecutor. But this guy's, I don't know what he's doing, but they have a weird relationship. And she can just call him whenever she wants. We know, if you guys listen to that horrific video from when I was at her house that night, at approximately 6 minutes into the video, I say to her, who are you calling right now? Right? What do you do? Like, what are you setting me up? Are you going to say I hit you? Or are you going to lie? And as we know now, we've seen the records. The person she called at 3:30 in the morning was Ken Mello. Like, for some reason, she's like best buddies with this guy. So Ken Mello gets a call from her and she's like, no, they have all this evidence that I'm a lying hoe. And, I framed this guy. You got to do something, Ken. So Ken sends this email out to 𝗵𝗿𝗄, which didn't go too well. And he's like, you got to give us the internet back. You got to give it back to us. And 𝗵𝗿𝗄 tells him to fuck himself. And we have all this stuff. So again, I have no interest in the stuff. They're hiding behind the fact that like there's medical records in there. We have no interest in that. None. I will not be sharing any of that. We have no interest in whatsoever. We're only interested in stuff that's pertinent to my freedom. Okay? So, for instance, like there's this Twitter account here that was apparently, I did not know this existed, but I don't know if it's still up. Check this out. You guys see this? Look at this thing. Aidan cranks to come. If you go, I don't know. Whoa, that's a weird cheer. Okay, so Aidan cranks to come. So this account was created on December 20th, 2020. It follows two people, one of which is 𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗃, and it's like at Aidan cranks to come. Okay, and December 20th, this was created. Well, I wonder who made that. Well, luckily we know now who made that. We know because we also have here other shit. We have the emails that show us that. And we got a lot of other really incriminating stuff. Let me bring this up here. Really, like, it's fucked up reading it. So, let me pull this up. is this? There it is. Let me pull this one up. All right. Where'd it go? I thought I just fucking had it. Let's see. It was just there. Can you guys can see it here, right? If I pull this up, you guys can see that on the screen here. So why the fuck can I not share it over here? Hold on one second. Get rid of that. All right, maybe that fixes it. Let's see. Come on, work for me. Share screen. There it is. Okay. So we got a whole bunch of really interesting messages here. So on how things ended, right? On December 9th, I didn't cancel the live show, and that was apparently a mistake because my destiny was set at that point. On December 9th, I did not go to this woman's house as she demanded I do to pretend that she's pregnant any longer. I wasn't going to do it anymore. And she got really mad. And I did my live show anyway. And we've seen the records. At 11:15, as soon as the live show was over, she decided to message a complete stranger by the name of 𝗵𝗂𝗃𝗃, and who I've written about and that whole thing with long story. And they decided to become best buds and begin to conspire. The next day, she's put in touch with somebody named 𝗪𝗏𝗄𝗃, and they start talking. And we've got all their messages. So this is a message from December 12th that they don't want us to see, that Leah sends to the fake victim, and she says, "Holy crap, I just thought of something. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." So they're really excited, and they send this audio clip. And it's a voicemail. We don't know what this is because they didn't send all the attachments over. But we end up finding out what it is because this is what she says in response. And look at this shit. This is horrifying. So she says, the fake victim says, "I can't believe me and Kate didn't think of this either." Whatever Leah is sending them, she's like, "I have an idea. I can't believe me and Kate didn't think of this either because we were literally talking about the bogus witness intimidation charges that he filed on her and how he is now considered a quote unquote witness. Oh my God, the joy it would give me to play him at his own game." So in case you can't see what's happening here, and I'll make this bigger on the big screen here, okay? In case you can't see what she's saying there, she's saying, as of December 12th, we are going to fuck this guy over for witness intimidation. We're going to make him a witness in the case, and we're going to say he's intimidating me to send his ass to jail. And now here are messages between 𝗪𝗏𝗄𝗃 and the fake victim, in which she says on December 11th, "I'm going to call Mello in a bit when shit calms down here. Feel out the situation. See if there's anything to be done to assure you're left alone. You have some information that would certainly be an incentive for the powers that be to protect you. Don't tell anyone we've talked, please." This is her telling, and now we got it. Now everyone knows. So this is her telling her that we're going to talk to Mello, and Mello is going to quote unquote protect you. In other words, he's going to make you a goddamn witness because this guy loves just calling anyone a witness and prevent anyone from talking about you, because then we're going to call it witness intimidation. But this is the most disturbing one I saw. This is the one that's really fucked up. This is on December 13th. This is an email. And if you'll recall, right, the fake victim is featured in an article in the Patriot Ledger, in which she is the graduation speaker at some nursing school, whatever. And that's on December, that's like from 2017. It's one of the first things that comes up when you Google her name. On December 13th, she writes this email to the Patriot Ledger. On 13th, that's an important, December 13th, this is 10 days before I am arrested and charged with a fake domestic violence situation. She says, "Please remove my name from the article," to the Patriot Ledger, or search engines for the article that you printed. "I am involved in a dangerous domestic violence situation and need to remove any information about myself from the internet. My name is Lindsay Gattani, and the link is," again, on December 13th, she was not involved in a dangerous domestic violence situation. But 10 days later, 11 days later on Christmas Eve, she contacts the police and tells them that she is the victim of domestic violence. 11 days before she lied to the police and told them that she was the victim of domestic violence with me, she contacted the Patriot Ledger and asked them to remove her name because she's the victim of domestic violence, which she wasn't on December 13th. The only reason that she would want her name removed on December 13th is because she was planning this. She knew that she was going to accuse me of this. She knew that she was going to lie about this. And she knew that when that happened, I would say her name and I would put her name out there and people would Google her and this goddamn story would come up, and she didn't want the story to come up. This is a smoking fucking gun right here. This email right here that this lying trash bag set me up, planned this out because her ass got dumped. She got dumped and she couldn't take it. She just couldn't take it and walk away. So she had to lie about this shit and send me to jail. And she didn't want this getting out here. She didn't want us to see this email. Kearney didn't want us to see this email. But guess what? Your dumb fucking friend, Brian Tully, fucked up and gave us everything. And I want to point this out. And this is interesting about Brian Tully. He's a piece of shit. And he accidentally did the only decent thing he's done in his whole life. Give us this information. And I would like to point out that there are, you know whose text messages aren't included in there? The messages between her and Brian Tully. That's right. Brian Tully specifically kept out all the text message that incriminate him. So I want to point that out. This motherfucker only cares about himself. He made sure that his ass was safe. He didn't give a fuck about her. He threw her ass under the bus. And I wonder how that makes her feel. Because that right there, that's the $1 million fucking email right there. That's when we fucking sue your asses off. You lying, filthy pieces of shit. You think they're going to get away with it. Anyway, so I'm a little bit salty about that. A little bit salty. And this is her telling, call Ken. Oh, I did talk to Mello. Yeah, talk to Mello. Yeah, hell yeah, we're setting this whole thing up. So this is just a fraction of some of the emails that were sent. There is so much more. There's so much more out there. And honestly, you're like reading it, it's like, you know, it's fucked up reading this shit. You're like, man, these people lied. These people lied. And wait till you see the calls and everything that they made, you know, during the most critical time. And, you know, so it is what it is. So Ken Mello, by the way, guys, is done. We're done with Ken Mello. He appears to be tapping out of this. We're going to have a new prosecutor. I think his name is Cosgrove. And some people have said, I think Nick Rocco texted me about this earlier. And he's like, isn't that a bad thing? Don't you want Ken Mello? Like, don't you want the guy who's losing to be the guy coming at you? And, you know, no, because I want this to be over with. Ken Mello is delaying. And we hope that this shit gets dropped because this needs to end. I haven't committed a crime. Karen Reed hasn't committed a crime. Karen Reed's going to trial. I shouldn't have to go to trial. I will, but we'll win. But, you know, we'll see what happens. So, anyway, that's a fraction of what's in there. A fraction. So, what I want to do now, because we got like 20 minutes left. We're going to end this at 11. I want to take any questions, and I'm going to give priority to the live audience. If anyone has any questions, open forum now. About any questions they want to ask me, feel free to ask. Again, this is our first experiment with a live show. Next live show, we're definitely going to have to do a thing where it's like people that want to listen and watch it, stay in the room. People that want to talk, get the fuck out of here. We're going to need something like that at the next one. So that's why this is a good experiment, because now we know, you know, you start putting drinks in people, they start talking. So if anyone here has any questions, I'll give priority to you, or else I'll start reading anything. Anyone, I can't even see. Well, first question. What do you got?
Are you ready to fuck Monday?
Am I ready to fuck on Monday? Absolutely. I think you know the answer to that one. Yeah. I can't wait for Monday. Opening statements are going to be great with, you know, they can't mention the FBI and whatnot, or the third party culprit. They don't need to. And I can't wait to see what these people are like in action, and I can't wait to see how comically bad Adam Lally is going to be at the most important time. Anyone else in person have any questions they want to ask? Anyway, you can just shout them out. If not, I'll take them from the viewers. What do we got? Hey, what are my thoughts on the lack of Boston PD at the courthouse? My thoughts on that is everyone in the Boston Police Department knows that Karen Read is 1,000% innocent, and they're not going to embarrass themselves like the only disgraced police officer in the Boston Police Department that shows up, cut Carl Dougal, and they don't want to show up there because we all saw what happened when Michael Chestnut, when he was killed. That court was packed with Weymouth police officers, same courtroom, packed with Weymouth police officers there to support Cindy Chestnut and Michael's parents and his children. And you don't see a single Boston cop at any of these, which is all that you need to know. They're not stupid. They're not like these idiots out there that are pretending to believe this nonsense. So, yeah, and I don't think you're going to see many at all outside there. And I can't wait to the second that Karen Read, when we hear the words not guilty, if we even get that far, it's going to be great. I think about it a lot. How awesome that's going to be and what it's going to be like in the courtroom when they say the words not guilty, because it's coming. You're not going to hear guilty. It's going to be not guilty. And it's going to be a weird thing because, Karen's going to be happy and they're going to be so happy and hugging each other. And then they're going to look at, the O'Keefe family, and they're going to be sitting there. And it's like, all I got to say to them is like, you guys could have fixed this, man. They're hiding behind you. If the O'Keefes had just said that we think something smells wrong here, if we think that we don't support this sham, we want to do something like, no, this isn't right, everything would have changed. They had the ability, and that's why, to stand up and say this ain't right, and everything would have changed. Instead, they hung around with the people that killed John. And people always say, well, you're mean to the O'Keefes. You're mean to the O'Keefes. It's like, I'm not mean to them. It's like, I don't like what they're doing. I think it's wrong. And I'm not going to sit here and John deserved better than that, right? Karen deserved better than that. And so I just want to see justice for him. And this sham is not justice. This is a disgrace. And even if it's not guilty, it's still a disgrace. We need indictments. We need people to go to jail that actually killed John. So thank you very much. Anyone else have any questions?
Love you, Aidan.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Good night. Anyone else have any questions in person before we read some? Sure. What do you got? When do the FBI indictments come? Not soon enough. I don't want to guess wrong here. But I honestly believe I think that because the prosecution goes first, I think they're going to give the prosecution 4 weeks to hang themselves. And then at the end of the day, they're going to have somebody, at least one person arrested, who's central to this all. That'll make it almost impossible for this to move forward. That's what I honestly believe is going to happen. I hope it happens. If not, some of these FBI, U.S. attorney investigations take years. So, I just have a hard time believing that they're going to allow this woman to go through an entire trial. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. If not, it's ending with not guilty either way. So thank you very much. Anyone else have any questions in person before I take some for the online audience? Anyone? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Do I think Tully flipped? No, I think Tully cares about Tully, and he just handed over evidence and making sure he got rid of the stuff that protected him and just threw her under the bus as fast as he could. That's what I think. So, okay.
You spent 60 days in jail.
Yeah.
Do you think you should get $1 million for every day that you spent there? Because I do.
Thank you. So he said, do I think I should get $1 million for every day I spend in jail? I find that fair, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I accept your proposal. It sucked, man. I mean, I was pissed in jail. The worst part about jail was like the fact that I had to knock on my door. I really hated that. Like when they close the door and it just locks behind you at 10 o'clock. And then you're just like, if you need something, you just have to knock on the door and maybe they'll come. And there's just one hardo fucking CO. I liked all the COs except this one douchebag that would be like, would just ignore me. I'd be knocking on the door. I need something. I need to use a phone. I need to do something. And he just wouldn't fucking open. And they'd be like, what? And then he'd come back half an hour later, but I do my rounds every half an hour. Motherfucker, there's like 5 of us in here. We're in medical. I'm innocent. Can you answer the fucking door? Jesus. I just hated being like dependent on other people for shit. I'm an independent person. It drove me nuts. I wanted to go to the big boy unit. I'm like, can you please throw me in Gen Pop? Because I'm sick of this shit. I know a guy in there, Frank. Like, we're in here for the same shit. It's all a lie. I'd like to meet him. But they wouldn't throw me in there because they were too worried about liabilities or whatever. But anyway, anyone else have any questions? Sure. Is there a defense witness for the dog bites? His name is Dr. Frank Sheridan. Frank Sheridan is the medical examiner from San Bernardino County who has seen thousands of dead bodies, tens of thousands of dead bodies, and he has opined, in his opinion, based on looking at the autopsy photos, that there is no way that John was that those are dog bites on John's arm. So, and they should get that guy Garrett Wing on. That guy was awesome for Melanie Little's interview. I watched it in jail. That guy convinced anyone. That guy was great. They should. I don't know why they're not bringing him on, but it sounds like they're pretty confident. That's a great question, though. What they don't have is arm tissue from John's arm because that just disappeared. That just disappeared. It's just gone like the Canton Library shit. So there's that. Anyone else have any questions?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Do you forgive Tully after he gave you that?
No, he can die and burn in hell and fuck himself. I hate that motherfucker. Hate him. I'm so happy he fucked up and did that. Thank you. Anybody else? I saw another hand.
So no one can make you leave the courtroom, right?
Can make me leave the courtroom?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. No, the courthouse. So I can't even get in the courtroom because there's like 10 seats in there. Well, maybe they'll figure out a way to get me in. But I want to be outside the courthouse at the very least. I want to be outside the courthouse, and there's a 50-yard turtle boy allowed zone from the steps of the courthouse, so I can stay there. And if the fake victim wants to show up, that's fine too. But I ain't going nowhere. I will not be retreating this time. So thank you very much. Good. Shoot. Who's going to do the most time? That's a great question. Sorry. Out of all the characters in this cast, not Karen Reed, not me. I would guess. That's a great question. Brian Albert. I would guess Brian Albert would be my first guess because no, I think I got bad news. I don't think Colin Albert's going to jail. I really don't. They're going to save that kid. Like they will. This whole thing has been to protect Colin Albert, all of it. And they are not going to let that kid go to. They will all say they did it to allow that kid to save. Who's going to flip? Brian Higgins has already flipped. I'm 100% certain of it. What do we got here? Okay, should I read that? Be careful driving. There's an 11 o'clock tonight state police roadblock on Taunton Route 140. Thank you very much.
24, no, Route 24.
We're 24. There we go. We're 24. There you go.
State police.
Yeah, state police. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. Any other questions? Ryan Nagel, according to his statement, he didn't say anything about that. But I'm hearing that we might hear differently from the 2 other people that were inside that vehicle who coincidentally were not put in the charging documents. That they might have seen something that Ryan Nagel didn't see. And they were in the front. So we'll see. Richie and Heather Maxson is one of them. So I'm going to be very interested to see. Because if those 2 say, if either one of them says that they saw John go in the house, it's over. It's fucking over. So, yeah. Anyone else in the house have any questions? Anyone? Go ahead. How come I can't get a press pass? I have applied. I have not heard back from them. They are giving me the runaround. They haven't denied it. And I call. They won't reject it. And they're just, Jennifer Donahue, call me back. Stop. It's just like they know that I'm eligible for a press pass. And if Grant can get a press pass, I can too. I think they figure if they just ignore me, then I'll go away, but I'm not going to. I'm going to be on their ass, so thank you.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyone else have any questions that's in the house? Go ahead.
Does the First Amendment exist in Norfolk County?
No, apparently it doesn't. They got rid of the First Amendment in Norfolk County a long time ago. Make my own press pass. I mean, Larry Foreman tried that. He's got that snitch. Grant will say something. But let me read real quick some turtle chats here. Laura sends $25, says long overdue for a freestyle, but obviously not tonight. Just something to keep in mind on. Definitely. Laura from London. Oh, shout out Laura. How you doing, girl? PJ sends $5 and says, why can't you get a press pass? There we go. Will you get the Tully texts? We're going to try. Katie Kelly, Chrissy, Melissa, and Coop send $25 and says, get a monk, free Karen Reed. Thank you very much. Brittany sends $10 and says, thank you. Thank you very much, Brittany. I appreciate that. Got a couple cash apps to read here. To bang through. You have here. Diane sends $25 and says, second live Plymouth Memorial Hall or Aidan Sportsman Club. Okay, thank you. We have here Christina sends $50 and says, knock off Kate Spade for poor Janine. Okay, be nice to Janine. She meant well. Diane sends $25 and says, let's fucking go. Thank you, Diane. Anthony sends $10 and says, please call my sister Jenny P. Eaters a loser. Sorry, Jenny P. You're a loser. Ernest sends $50 and says, don't fucking call me Ernest. Too late. Sorry, buddy. Nikki sends $10 and says, you're the 5th Ninja Turtle. Your weapon is a laptop. I suppose it is. And a cell phone. Thank you. And Deborah sends $10. Thank you very much. All right, cool. Any more last minute questions you guys have? Anybody in the audience have a question? I don't think so. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions relative to the Karen Reed thing? Shoot.
How will you punish Karen Reed?
Karen Reed! Oh, they're starting to chant. There we go. What was the question?
How will you punish Ken Mello?
How will I punish Ken Mello? I feel like I've done that enough. He's punished himself, quite frankly. I mean, I wanted him to win Ratchet Madness. I thought that would have been appropriate, but you people didn't vote for him. I'm really mad about that, actually. So in the latest ones, so Michael Proctor destroyed Helena Rafferty. He's going to the Elite Eight, and you motherfuckers voted off Jill Daniels. Brian Higgins beat Jill Daniels by a pretty comfortable margin. So he's going to be going against Michael Proctor for a chance to get to the Final Four. So we got 8 people left in that. Anyone else have any questions in the house? Go ahead.
How do you say defendant?
How do you say defendant? I think it's defendant. I think that's the way it's pronounced. But he likes to say defendant. Defendant. Oh, God, I'm not going to miss that at all. Yeah. Anyone else have any questions? Anyone? What? Do I really feel Karen Reed will be found not guilty? I don't feel that way. I know it. I am 100% sure Karen Reed will never, ever, ever be found. And I know Karen's watching right now. And we love you, Karen. And I can't wait to start talking to you again when this is over. And because you're fucking innocent and you know it. And the jury is going to find you that way, and it's going to be dope. So, anyone else have anything before we call it a night?
Okay, we have one more raffle.
One more raffle, real quick.
It's a $50 Amazon card. It came in late.
Okay, $50 Amazon card for 376 326 376 326. All right, anyone? Do we get one?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
376 326. Anyway, so here's the deal, guys. I just want to say before we wrap this up. We got a gentleman over here. Regina sends $10 and says, Eskimo brothers, men who have had sexual intercourse with the same women. Ew. So me and Frankie, ew. Okay, all right, that's what we call that. All right, anyway, I just want to say thank you to everybody who came out here tonight. Again, it was, I don't like being charged with, So I just want to thank everybody who bought a ticket to this event, who donated, who bought something from the raffle, whatever. I can't thank you guys enough. I don't like being charged with all these felonies, but you know, I don't know how I do this without the support of everyone out there. Love you guys so much. Without your support, this would be obviously a lot harder, but I just don't even think about ever being found guilty or anything like that, because I just know that we have an army behind us, that I have a great attorney, that the facts are behind me, the First Amendment is behind me, and that we are going to, it's going to be great. And we're going to keep doing events like this. We're going to keep doing events like this as long as we can, because we had a great time tonight. And I appreciate everybody coming. I think it went pretty well. We're working out the kinks as far as the background noise, but we'll do better the next time. But I just want to thank everybody again, and we'll see everybody Monday morning. I'll be doing a live stream from the courthouse steps for the first day of the real Kearney trial, and the first day in the step towards justice. Thank everybody for coming. I love you guys all. Thanks,